All right, hello everyone. I'm gonna give it another minute or two to let anybody join the stream. This is the live streaming of the Leo Weekly. So, the candles are going down. I have to running out of candles. So, all right. This is going to be for October 13th to 19th. We still have another minute to wait. It's not supposed to start until 12. So thank you to anyone who's stopping by, who's waiting for this video. Just give everyone a little bit of chance to join. And this is new for me, for those of you who are watching, doing a live stream of the weeklies. I normally just upload the video, but this weekend I'm going to try to do a majority of the weekly readings via live stream so that people can ask questions and check in. It's just a new experience. All right, here we are. It's 12 o'clock. Okay, so this is the scheduled time for the Leo Weekly. We're going to get right into it, Leo. I've already been meditating on your cards before I started the stream. And what we do is we're going to pull out 3 romance angel messages for you. Then we'll pull out 3 animal spirits for you for the week. And then we will go ahead and get right into your spread. All right, Leo? So here we go. We have, starting off, love yourself first. Oh, it's a beautiful energy. All right, and then we have soulmate. So this week we got soulmate energy coming in. And we have new love. Wow. So, lot of positive energy this week. Although my weeklies are general readings, guys, so they can be, once we get into the forecast over here with the actual traditional deck, can be in love, life, career, what have you. But clearly, with this, we've got a good emphasis on love connections, soulmate connections. So let's get into your animal spirits. Now, animal spirits can come in the form of new stages. They can come in energies that we're tapping in to get us through a particular situation. Or they could be representative of people that we're dealing with this week, all right? So, again, not all of this can resonate with all of you Leos, and of course, just take what applies and disregard the rest. I myself am a Sagittarius, but my moon is in Leo, right? So sometimes I resonate with some of the Leo messages, and sometimes I don't. And that's fine, too. All right, let's get right into it, Leo. First one out is the bee. Air element. That top symbol there is alchemical symbol for air. Beautiful. The bee is a regular player on my readings. All right. Sometimes bee energy will come in consistently for a lot of the readings. Sometimes it won't. We have peacock, another air element. Interesting. Peacock is very, very, very beautiful card. Very beautiful animal spirit. And we have the fire element of tarantula. Wow. Okay, so before we go ahead and get into your spreads, Leo, let's just review these animal spirits briefly. It's quite interesting. So let's start off with the bee. The bee is an air elemental animal spirit, and the bee energy is really, really beautiful energy to be around. Everyone likes to be around a person that's resonating with bee energy, the bee personality. The bee is very democratic, right? The bee is the animal spirit that this is the friend in the group that wants to make sure that everyone's doing okay. They're the ones who when you're out with them, they're never going to exclude anyone, right? They always want to make sure that the party is fair. They always want to make sure that the situations are fair. They're very diplomatic. This is the friend who will come in at times if you're arguing. If you have a social circle and you're arguing with someone in your social circle, this is the mutual friend who will come in and sort of help smooth things over, help people communicate with each other. Remember, air is to do with communication, right? And so the bee is a master communicator in that way. A very a social person, very sociable person, right? Also very creative, and also this is the person who's clearly always buzzing around, just like a bee does. They're always around. They're always on the scene. They're at every party. They know every person, right? But it's very kind of bubbly. It's very industrious, hardworking, right? Very creative individual, but just a comfortable personality to be around. Now, the peacock is quite interesting, right? Because peacock energy is all about the beauty within, right? Showing the beauty within on the outside. The peacock is a great appreciator of all beauty, right? The peacock is also synonymous with seeing all things, seeing beauty in all things, right? It's the many eyes of the peacock. And so in this way, a person who resonates with peacock energy is very rare personality, right? This is the person who's beautiful on the inside and on the outside. They're not egocentric. They're not covetous with their beauty. They're not the person who thinks they're the only beautiful person in the room. The peacock person is the one who absolutely encourages beauty in others, appreciates beauty in others. And so this is really a rare type of personality to be around. This personality has no ego, really. And we talk about peacocks strutting around as if, we think of them that way, right? But this is not necessarily the case at all when we talk about the animal spirit of the peacock. They have an understanding and a compassion because they can see life from a lot of different angles. And because they have this ability to see beauty in all things, they are always beautiful to people, right? They always resonate with a really beautiful quality. And because it comes from within as well. It's this type of person is, I want to say like a Princess Diana. For those of you who ever knew Princess Diana, I'm showing my age now, but Princess Diana was I want to say a type of person like that. She was beautiful on the outside and on the inside, but she was very humble. She was very caring, very understanding, as a humanitarian, right? And so she had this ability to make people just love her, fall in love with her, right? Because of that. And it's such a rare, rare thing. So peacock energy can indeed be, you may be coming across somebody who's resonating with this, or you're resonating with this, and it's just so special. Now, tarantula energy. I know a lot of people don't like spiders, right? But this is a fire energy. Now, the tarantula is really a strong animal spirit for karma, taking control of your life. The tarantula comes in at a time in our lives when we're at a crossroads, right? When we're at a crossroads and we need to decide which way to go. The tarantula, even in the wild, if you've ever seen like a nature show with tarantulas, they move quite slowly, actually, right? They're not one of these super fast spiders. They can be, if they wish to be, but you usually see them just frozen, really, not moving at all. They're very, very, very thoughtful about the next step they make. And so in this way, this energy comes in because now is the time for you to be extremely present and focused and thoughtful about your next step, because you are, for some of you, at a crossroads. Certainly, if we have new love and soulmate energy coming in, it could very well be that some of you are at a crossroads of possibly meeting and being with the soulmate connection, or missing it and choosing for something else, right? And maybe not missing it, but maybe just choosing for something else, because tarantula energy is about choice, making the right choice for you right now at this time in your life. If you don't pay attention, the choice will be made for you, and then oftentimes, if that's the case, it may not go the way you wish. All right, guys. So, Leo, that is your 3 romance angel messages and 3 animal spirits. Now we're going to get into your actual reading and see your spread and see how that applies to you this week. All right, we're going to pull out about 3, anywhere from 5 to 8 3-card spreads. And this, of course, could be in any area, love, life, or career. But we'll see how much love and emotions kind of dominate the spreads this week. Sagittarius live stream is coming up at 1 o'clock after this one. So if you're cross-watching, of course, you can come back for the next live stream at 1 o'clock for Sagittarius. Those will be, all 3 of the fire sign weeklies will then be up and out. All right, guys, let's get into it, Leo. Queen of Cups right away. Ace of Pentacles and the Lovers. Wow, well, there you go. Right out the gate, we have Queen of Cups, right? So below, as above, the Queen of Cups is Queen being water, cups, water. She's the watery aspect of water. She's absolutely in touch with her heart, what her heart desires. She manifests that outwardly, who she is, what she wants in her life in terms of her relationships. She's not afraid to be vulnerable. She's not afraid to tell somebody that she loves them. She has a very special, unique cup of love to give someone, but she is only willing to give it to the right person, right? She will be the one who gives you everything if it is the right person. I think for some of you Leos, you are ready for this. You are ready to hand your cup of love to someone, and there's an opportunity coming into your life, a golden opportunity, as it were. I'm going to say for some of you, this space that you're in of wanting to hand this cup of love is going to come. The opportunity will come in the form or through the avenue of a life opportunity for you with this Ace of Pentacles. Very, very in tune with tarantula energy, in the sense that some of you may have a particular job or career or ambitious goal coming in for you, opportunity coming in, but this leads the way for a deep, deep soulmate connection. It could be that you meet your soulmate on a new job or a new project that you're about to embark on. Paying attention right now is very important. Lover energy is Gemini energy coming in. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini, all right? I loathe to say that because oftentimes that's just sun signs, and we're really, and we don't know the whole natal chart of everyone that we deal with, right? So it's ridiculous to say that based on one card, but certainly Gemini energy coming in. But there's a strong soulmate lovers connection with the 6 major arcana. Harmonious, strong lovers connection coming in on the back end of this opportunity. All right. Keep your heart open and your intentions focused, Leo, because for those of you who are paying attention, you will be making a huge step in your life once you find out which opportunity this is and take it. If you choose to take it, it will be a change in your life as a crossroads. And this week is the week where some of this gets highlighted for you. 2 of Swords, 9 of Cups, and Empress. Wow. So some of you this week, interesting, 2 of Swords talks about feeling like you have to make a decision, right? Feeling like you have to choose one thing over another, but it's a seemingly impossible decision, right? Right now, you are resonating with 9 of Cups in the sense that, you've really achieved, you've had a lot of blessings, right? These are blessings. Nine of Cups talks about someone who's really been blessed a lot, who's had a lot of good fortune and love in their life. They've been blessed with good relationships, happy relationships. Yet that one soulmate connection is still eludes them because you see this individual is still sitting alone. And so yes, they've had a very charmed and blessed life. They've had a lot of their wishes come true. The soulmate connection is still eluding them, right? And so for some of you Leos, you may indeed be resonating with that this week. And this week, for some reason, you're coming into a choice of some kind, right? It could be that you're choosing between two people. Could be that you're choosing between going down a certain avenue. It's interesting with tarantula energy. Like I said, the tarantula is about coming to a crossroads. Could be this week that you guys, something happens in your life and it does turn into a sort of crossroads situation, and suddenly you're forced to have to make a choice, right? One thing I can tell you, Two of Swords is more about balance than choosing. So if it's a case of having to make a choice between two seemingly same options, and both options you can't really live without, then find a balance, right? This could indeed be a balance between uh, your career life, or your social life, or your career life, and your love life. Ultimately, Empress energy is in talking about nurturing yourself. Most important right now is making sure that you and your creative energies are nourished and nurtured, right? And that you maintain your own sort of physical and emotional well-being and health. All right. Try not to let the pressures of this situation suddenly that switched for you, or that suddenly put you a little bit under pressure in terms of having to figure out which way to go. Uh, just maintain, just make sure that the ultimate, whatever choice you do make, protects you and keeps you whole, right? Now is the time to make sure that you are protecting your heart, protecting your creative sort of potential, because you're about to go down a road here with this Empress energy of maybe embarking on some sort of endeavor or project that is highly creative and that's going to need a lot of your energy. Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, and Three of Wands. Interesting. So some of you have most recently started a new project that is very, very close to your heart. It's probably some kind of ambition that you've had for a very, very long time, and you've finally been able to start it. Or it could be something new that came in, that you found a new sort of area in life that you wanted to sort of forge a path in. Whatever the case may be, it's something that is very, very close to your heart. It's very new, and you've just begun on this path. You've just begun on this endeavor or this goal. A King of Pentacles comes in this week to sort of help you and support you. This is probably going to be someone someone you have a lot of respect for, Leo, who's already perhaps worked in this field, whatever this project or endeavor is that you're working on. They have some experience with that. They have some experience with manifesting these ideas. It could just be that the field that they work in is very similar, right? Or just that the ethos they have about bringing sort of projects to life is very similar. King of Pentacles can oftentimes be a benefactor or a mentor who comes in and really helps you with a particular project or endeavor. But again, it's somebody that you certainly have a lot of respect for, and somebody who's already proven their skills, right? They come in because they believe in you, right? And one of the things they're going to be coming in with this week is just not teaching you, but reminding you that sometimes you have to be patient. It can be feeling for you, some of you Leos this week, like you started this project, but you really want to push ahead. But Three of Wands talks about being patient, waiting for a minute, taking a look at the lay of the land before you make your next step, right? And so this support that comes in with the King of Pentacles is going to be very much in the way of mentoring, in the way of supporting you, right? So that you make the right step in this very, very important endeavor of yours or project of yours that you've most recently started. Also, bumblebee energy or bee energy is at play here because the bee is very, very industrious and also extremely helpful for you. All right. Next one. The World, Five of Swords, and Sun. Wow. All right. So for some of you, let me see. I think my flash. Let me fix my flash. All right. So for some of you, we're talking about the world energy, Five of Swords, and Sun. So world talks about really understanding that you are at the right place, the right time. Things are happening around you right now uh, as if everything around you is in favor of this path. You ever, come to certain points in your life where things just seem to work out well, right? Obstacles just seem to be cleared. Everything seems to be working in your favor. And this is when we resonate with world energy. And oftentimes when we come to this point in our lives as well, we begin to understand why we had to go through some of the things in the past. World energy is a really good feeling for sort of letting go also of difficult times that perhaps we had to endure in the past. We oftentimes feel like, well, why did I have to go through that? I wish I didn't have to go through that. But when we get to a point in our lives where we understand that everything we've been through has culminated to this point, and this is where you are meant to be. Oftentimes, this can be when you're beginning to sort of experience some success on a particular career or success in your love life, long-term success in your love life, a longevity in a relationship where before perhaps there hasn't been one. And you understand that, all of this would not be possible were it not for everything that happened up until this point. It's at those times in our lives that we begin to really integrate trauma or difficult times that we've been through in the past as necessary, and we let go of some of the bitterness that is associated with that. And so for some of you Leos, you're feeling like that right now. You're just really feeling like you're on this great upswing and life is really working in your favor. However, this week you come across a power struggle. This Five of Swords is power struggle. And the Five of Swords is the card for defeat in the sense that sometimes you deal with people and they're not playing by the same rules. They're not sort of being as noble as you are or as honest as you are. They're willing to win at all costs, right? And so in this situation, oftentimes you have a choice. Either you just concede defeat. You can see how the characters actually are walking away in disgust. If you can see that. They've thrown their swords down and they're walking away in disgust. And it's not so much like they're walking away because, oh yeah, he beat me. But they're so disgusted with the way this person has been acting that they just concede defeat. They say, yeah, you know what? You win. All right, that's, hands up, you win. It's a hollow victory for this character because they haven't won by any real skill or talent or by playing fairly. But at the same time, this is more, here when this card is being pulled, we're talking more about you in terms of resonating with one of the people who've decided to sort of just concede defeat. And so this week, you're feeling great about your life, but you're having a power struggle with someone and you're just, Leo, it may just be wiser to just take the high road and let them win whatever hollow victory it is that they have to win, lest you sort of lower yourself to their level, and you don't want to do that. Doing that this week gives you some clarity, though. This could indeed be with people that you've been friends with. It could be a dynamic that was never like this before. But because you're doing so well and feeling like you're on top, suddenly a certain dynamic has gone this way. Well, once you kind of just throw your hands up and you sort of concede and say, here, you have it. It's fine. I really don't need, I don't need this. I don't need your validation. There's some clarity that comes in on a particular situation with the Sun. You find out something that you didn't know. It could be clarity on a particular friendship that you didn't realize was toxic. It could just be clarity about your skill at something, or you know what I mean? There is clarity, and I wouldn't even be surprised if a little victory, a real victory, comes in on the back of this. Because, of course, here when you concede defeat, it's not real defeat. It's really that you're taking the high road. All right? All right, so Nine of Pentacles, Justice, and Nine again of Wands. So a lot of you are coming to the end of a particular stage in your life and things are balancing out. Nine of Pentacles talks about really being sort of ambitious. This Nine of Pentacles is a very ambitious person. This is a person who's really worked towards their career goals and their ambitious goals for abundance and acquiring stability in their finances, right? They've worked this way towards that for a very long time, maybe even for their lives. This is very Taurus energy, strong Taurus energy as well, Nine of Pentacles. However, with the nines, with all of the nines, we see a feeling, an essence of the Hermit, right? The Hermit is the major nine arcana, major arcana nine, right? And so we see an essence of being separated, being alienated, right? And here we see that also with Nine of Pentacles. This is an individual who, yes, you've worked very hard and you've worked to work for your career and your abundance, but oftentimes you have been alienated by your own success from others. Your success alienates you from others who are not able to keep up with your level of success. It can also be that you sacrifice deeper relationships for the sake of acquiring this success. And that's not bad. That's not a judgment, right? It's not a bad thing. However, what happens with Nine of Pentacles, when this comes in, sometimes we wake up to that, we realize that, and we realize that perhaps we are too alienated, perhaps we've been sacrificing too much of that love connection, and we want to be able to bring that into our lives, which would ultimately lead you to a Ten of Pentacles, where you have your cake and you eat it too, because you also have room for a connection and love to share that abundance with, right? But here in Nine of Pentacles, it's an awareness that comes up. It's an awareness inside of you that comes up that you want to redress that. Now, justice is coming in, and it could be that this is the balance that you're seeking. Nine of Wands, again, here we're talking about looking back on a particular stage in your life that has really been full of a lot of trials and tribulations, that you've borne a lot of responsibilities and burdens, right? You've also taken some hits. You've also accumulated some baggage as a result of this kind of tumultuous, difficult time that you've been through. But here with Nine of Wands, you begin to look back on it, and you begin to look back on everything that you've endured, and you begin to understand what it means, and you prepare for the Ten of Wands, where you lay it down, where you come out of this period. But again, with Nine of Wands, we have a little essence of that Hermit energy again coming in a sense that you look back on a difficult path that you've walked, oftentimes alone, a path that you know, you're the one who had to, you know, you're the one who got injured, you're the one who fixed the situations, you're the one who came up with the solutions. This didn't happen with the help of anyone else, right? And so again, we have a soul searching, we have a sense of soul searching here with this Nine of Wands, and looking back and looking, it's when we look back and we see what we've been through for what it is, truly what it is, and we understand the baggage we've accumulated. It is this preparation that kind of spurs us on to end this stage of life, this stage of our lives, right? To end this particular difficult stage, to finally put a period behind it, put a line under it, and walk away from it, lay it down. Now, this could be any kind of burden. This could be taking care of a sick relative. This could be shouldering responsibilities that aren't yours, but you've taken them on because somebody else can't handle them. You know, this is just dealing with you know, economic issues, financial issues, emotional, whatever the case may be. It was a period of time of difficulty in some way or another. And now you're looking and ready to end it. It's quite interesting. So you have these two nines here with justice here. So it's like some of you are very much balancing out a life that has been either very heavy on one end or heavy on the other. right? You've either borne very much the brunt of a lot of responsibilities, perhaps in family or in love or in career on one hand, and then sometimes it's like you've been this workaholic here and really had to sacrifice your own time, sacrifice your own deep connections. In either case, justice comes in very much to sort of equal this out. Now, for some of you, this could indeed be an actual court decision that comes in. This could be a court decision or a judgment and a decision that you've in a scenario that you've been waiting for a long time that's caused you a lot of pain, right? It's been a bumpy road, right? But it's about to come to an end because finally an official decision is going to come down and be rendered, right? Justice is going to be served, right? And it's still the same essence. There's still a rebalancing. But I just mean that for some of you, this is actually a case that you may have been waiting for. You may have had a settlement that you've been waiting for a long time, right? That has interrupted your abundance or that has interrupted your flow here, okay? And that will, again, is something that you guys are going to be dealing with this week. You may be getting some information about that. Again, you're at a crossroads. Remember earlier what I said. You're at a crossroads with this tarantula energy. Right? And love yourself first is on board too. So not only we're talking about soulmate new love, but love yourself first. So when we talk about love yourself first and being at a crossroads, here we're talking about also justice coming into rebalance for some of you, right? Who perhaps up until now, life has not been making you feel like loving yourself first, or it's been very difficult for you to love yourself first. You felt like you're the only one loving yourself because you're going through so much. There's a balance coming in to redress that, and there is a crossroads you're about to enter into that's going to take you into a better, where your karmic dividends are going to begin to pay off. All right, we're going to pull one more spread, and then I'm going to call it Five of Cups, Empress, High Priestess, and Six of Swords. Wow. All right, so for some of you, again, we are talking certainly about, again, a crossroads. Six of Swords could talk about moving away, physically moving away, certainly moving away in intention in your mind. Five of Cups is, some of you have really been most recently dealing with or either remembering or dealing with heartache, heartbreak, right? Remembering the heartbreak of the past. It could be a most recent heartbreak that you've had that you've really been sort of not able to get out of. Whatever the case may be, this is the energy that you come into the week with, right? But the High Priestess comes in to remind you. The High Priestess is the highest. A lot of people say, yes, this is a card for intuition, but intuition and self-confidence are connected. All right. This is also the highest card for self-confidence. And this, here we talk about five is a power struggle. Five is the number for power struggle. Usually it's external, but here we're talking about an internal power struggle because it's the power struggle between, and we've all been there, the struggle that we have between wallowing in the past and the pain of the past, because at least that's a familiar pain. A familiar pain is a lot easier than facing a future of unknown pain, right? And this is why a lot of us tend to wallow in the past, you know. And people will say, well, why are you doing that? Isn't it painful? They don't understand. Yeah, it's painful, but at least it's the pain I know. The fear of being hurt in a way that we don't know with the future is oftentimes what keeps us internally, that power struggle, from lifting our heads and looking to the future. But this is what the Five of Cups is all about. It's an internal power struggle that we have at times in our lives. And this character, you perhaps, Leo, if you're resonating with this, must just lift your head and be strong enough to look to the future without that fear of, well, okay, I could be hurt in the future. Yeah, we can all be hurt in the future, right? But we don't know. There is a promise. We see the two upright cups in this card. You can see the two upright cups. So with Five of Cups, there's a promise of relationships that are going to be different than the past, but you will not know until you lift your head and focus to them. And so if you come in this week with this kind of renewed sense of loving yourself first, right? Letting go of that in your heart of hearts, you realize this. So part of this is just kind of a self-indulging exercise. But in your heart of hearts, you realize this. And so this week, it's time for you to really go in and sort of like listen to that internal voice of yours, right? And allow this voice of yours to reinvigorate your self-confidence. This is how it works. When we listen to our inner voice, when we truly listen to our inner voice and we are, even though it may be scary to follow, we follow that. What happens is reaffirmations come in. When the reaffirmations come in, that builds our self-confidence. You know, now we begin to be more confident in our intuition. Well, my voice was right before. My intuition was right before. Maybe it'll be right again. And this is the feedback loop that happens, and this is why the High Priestess is one of the highest cards for self-confidence, because as we begin to listen to our inner voice, we begin to hone it. It begins to become clearer and better and full of more clarity. We get more affirmations coming in, and our self-confidence increases. And we get to a point in our lives where we know that the voice is right. We know when to listen to it. And so this week, this is what you need to be cultivating, because this is a period of moving away. You're about to move away towards a much more harmonious life, a much more harmonious connection with people. But this is a lot of internal work that some of you are doing this week, Leo. And this is very much about being very intentional, about choosing no longer to sort of continue to deal with negativity, continue to deal with relationships that bring you down, right? Some of you may be in a relationship, Leo, right, that is starting to remind you of past relationships, right? But this week, you need to listen. Your little voice inside, the High Priestess, your intuition side has been saying, hey, Leo, this is again like what you went through before. Why are you putting up with it? You know? Why are you dealing with it? Are you staying, are you staying with this for some other reason? This little voice is waking you up to something. Could very well be, Leos, that some of you are reliving the past relationships with a current relationship because you're not listening to that voice inside of you that's telling you, hey, wake up. This person is the same sort of toxic person that you had to deal with before, right? You remember that here. Your voice inside, your gut is telling you that this is similar, yet are you behaving in the same way? Are you continuing to go on with this person again? Or are you going to make the decision to move away? To say, okay, I'm going to listen because I already know, I've been down this road before. I already know that this individual, that this dynamic that I have right now is the same shit dynamic I had before. It's at least the inklings of it. Now, either I can listen to my heart and my gut and say no and be strong enough to just move away from that and keep my eyes fixed towards more positive connections, which 6 is the number for journeys toward harmony. With 6 of Swords, we talk about making a conscientious decision to turn your back on repetitive negative behavior patterns, like staying with the same type of toxic individuals that you stayed with before. Listen to that voice inside. All right, Leo, I'm going to call it. This is your weekly reading. All right, it's a little longer than usual because I did do live stream and I spend a little bit more time. Usually the video is a little bit shorter, but if it resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share, all of that good stuff. But for right now, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for stopping by. To all of you who've watched, I really appreciate it. And if you want to see the Sagittarius reading at 1 o'clock, come on back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, and check in for the Sagittarius 1 o'clock weekly live tarot spread. All right, guys. I shall see you next weekend. Have a wonderful week, Leo. Bye-bye now.